Happy Sunday to you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great day yesterday, a great training day. And for some of you, I hope you gave some thought to possibly, should a situation ever come along, and I certainly pray that it never does for you, a case in which you may have to relocate your dog. Yeah, I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but I tell you what, it happens a lot. And it needs to even happen more for some families. They just have a difficult time making that very difficult decision. And so the purpose of yesterday's video and today is to hopefully just give you something to think about, something to weigh against, so it doesn't weigh so much on your heart, and so that you can make the decision, the right decision, should you ever need to, in rehoming or relocating your dog. Okay, yesterday we established a couple of things that should help you along the way. First of all, dispersion is in our genetic fiber. It's part of our being. It is. The animals relocate all the time. Even though it's more advantageous, it's more safer, more beneficial to live in a group, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes those factors change greatly. And an animal will suddenly find himself in an area in which it's just too crowded, in which there's way too much competition, in which there's not enough food. The climate has turned south, just really not good. A whole myriad of reasons. There's nowhere for me to mate. I can't get a mate, and if I even have a mate, there's not a safe dwelling place to raise my offspring. So I'm going to move, and I'll either join up with another group somewhere else, or I'll start my own group. It's in our very fabric of our genetics. Same thing with human beings, same thing with dogs. So we should really kind of just understand that it's okay. Your dog is going to be okay if you send it to live somewhere else. They were given the ability to do so because it's natural for them to do so. So hang your hat on that and don't be so concerned and always so worried about your dog. Your dog's going to be fine. Let's just take care of you. Okay, we also established that many dogs are relocated every single year, thousands upon thousands. Either from rescues, they go through a foster, then rescue, and then another home. They're picked up or surrendered to animal shelters, then placed in another home. Service dogs are trained and then placed with individuals who need a service dog. Military working dogs, police service dogs. Dogs all over the world are relocated. Karen and I have a new puppy, and we're doing a little video on her later this afternoon. And she's just an absolute doll, but we've had her for 2 weeks, and she was relocated. Yeah, so rehomed. Guys, it's okay. It's going to be okay. And I just can't say that enough because we just, for whatever reason, seem like it's not okay. It's not okay. We think of ourselves as a failure. We gave up. We never give up. No way, Bryan, when the tough gets going, I get going myself. Absolutely. I get that. I understand it, and that's kind of who I am. But I learned a long time ago when to say uncle. I learned a long time ago to place other people, and certainly my dogs, instead of me. Place them first. Care for them more than I care for myself. You have to learn how to do that if you're really and truly going to be a great steward for this incredible animal, this incredible gift from nature. If you're going to be that steward, and if you own enough dogs in your lifetime, then more than likely you will have to make that decision. So let's get after today and let's just talk about it from a dog's point of view, from a dog, again, not a wild wolf, even though they have that fabric in them. Let's talk about them from their point of view. Why would they ever want to leave you and go live somewhere else? Now, one of the top reasons that I can definitely think of and that I've seen many cases over the years is a P of R, principle of resemblance. And that kind of knocks out one of the top three for wild animals, the principle of resemblance. When you have that, that means your size, your age, and your personality or temperament is about the same. Close enough for government work, as we always say. And when that happens, it can become absolutely unbearable. Hierarchies, which still exist, and again, so many people don't want them to believe that, but I'm sorry. That's just willful ignorance, is all that is. But they do exist. And because of that, a hierarchy is only stable when number one feels like it has 95% control over number two over three over four. 51-49 doesn't work. And so in that situation there, the competition is way too high. which means I may not be able to gain advantage of the resources that I need, which then means I'm constantly in danger. I'm constantly evoking sometimes anti-predatory behaviors. I'm part of eavesdropping. I'm part of the bystander effect, facilitated aggression. The list goes on and on. It is warfare confined inside your home. And that was one of the other reasons that we have problems, that we have ecological constraints. And you did the same thing, environmental constraints, by placing your dog in a zoo. Your zoo, that zoo is your home. It has walls, it has gates. We established that yesterday. And animals in zoos don't do the same thing as animals in the wild because they don't have the choices that animals have in the wild, the options to pick from. So the principle of resemblance is one of the biggest reasons for rehoming one of your dogs. Let it go be top dog somewhere else, because you're never going to have two number ones. You're never going to have two number twos. You're just not going to. So wrap your head around that, and let's move on down the list. Next thing is just too many dogs. I get that you love dogs, but sometimes you have too many in a confined space. Go get into a crowded elevator. See how you feel right now. Go somewhere really crowded, no elbow room. You can't stand it. You can't stand it. Man, watch people's tempers flare. Oh my gosh. Tell you what, years and years ago, my last year in high school, I worked for Disney World. Yeah, moved from Alaska, unfortunately. No decision of mine. My father was restationed. He was in the Air Force, and he was stationed down at McCoy Air Force Base at the time, which turned into the Orlando International Airport. And I got a job at Disney World. And I'm here to tell you, it got wicked crowded. And when it got wicked crowded in a wicked hot summer day, oh my, the worst of humanity reared its ugly head over and over again. We like groups, we don't like crowds. So that being said, sometimes too many dogs. I know of people who foster 40 dogs in a household, and it is living hell for a good 20 to 30% of them. Too many conspecifics. I need to get the heck out of here. I need some elbow room, please. I need a place to breathe. I don't need you on top of me every time I turn around. So think about that, because that's definitely what dogs do. Also, there's not enough resources for them. Meaning there's just not enough food. There's not enough toys. There's not enough beds. There's not enough space, period. There's just resources. There's just not enough because there's too many of us, or I am here by myself, but I don't get anything. I'm hungry all the time. All the time I'm hungry. And I never have anything to do. Nothing to pass my time. No one provides me with functional and productive tools and toys to entertain myself. I don't have a TV to watch. I don't have an iPad. I don't have the internet, a book. No, that just kind of got me, because nothing else is provided for me, because you're too busy going on with your human life and you're neglecting me. So that's the reason why a dog would want to go. Also, bringing too many dogs in the household all the time. Again, I love my fosters out there. You know it. You people who are fosters, and you know me, you know I love you. But I will tell you, there are situations in which sometimes we bring too many animals into the household. Captain is still stressed by our new puppy. Yeah, he's getting better. He's acclimating. He's accepting. But one of our Morkies, Dave, a.k.a. Chicken, no. He is absolutely not happy with that puppy. We'll have to see if he adjusts. We'll have to do, and then if he can't, we'll have to make whatever adjustments we need to do to ensure his quality of life, because he was here first. I need to take that into account. And so that being said, out in the wild, it's not your dog's genetic fiber that other dogs constantly be brought into the pack. That's not there. Wolf packs are family units. The only time that we know of in which there was importation, where another wolf was imported, allowed to join the pack, was only when the pack had suffered casualties to such a degree that as a group they were weakened, that they would not survive. It's wintertime. Wintertime requires you, when you live in a geographical area in which the dominant animal that you hunt actually requires more than one of you to get that job done. We're talking about a moose. We're talking about a big elk. We're talking about a gigantic caribou, muskox. When you talk about those type of animals that can kill you in a New York second by yourself, you need help. And sometimes you're hunted. Yeah, that's right. Wolves are still hunted, and they're allowed to be hunted in countries other than ours. They're also starved to death. They also freeze to death. Yeah, a wolf can freeze. Many things can happen that can decimate a pack. And when that happens, they'll call on help. And that's when they'll let their guard down and let someone else join the pack. When that happens, in most cases, it's a male. In fact, males disperse from packs and groups more than females. Still a little bit of a head scratcher. We believe it has something to do with natural selection, and I'm not going to go down that road because that's in a 1-hour video just trying to explain it. But just take it on this fact. Males disperse more than females. So again, if you have a couple of males in your household and we got a P of R going on, a principal resemblance, then know that they are more willing to disperse than the females. So again, keep that in your mind. And so there, going back to my original point, dogs aren't used to having 50 million dogs walking in their household joining their packs. They were not given the genetic foundation to deal with that. And that can cause a tremendous amount of stress, pathological stress, meaning about the time I got used to you, I finally got you adjusted in our hierarchy here. You finally picked up the rules that we've laid. You're gone. And here comes a new one. Think of it yourself. Think of it like in a career where you are tasked with training someone new. Okay, till that someone new is an asset, they're a liability. They are a sea anchor on your production on a daily basis. And if you have to do that all the time, train someone, no sooner get them up to speed where you can finally just sit back and go, oh, thank goodness. You finally know what you're doing. Thank God. They're gone, here comes another one. And then they're gone, here comes another one. And then they're gone, here comes another one. So imagine you're doing this, but you're doing it with fang and claw. Imagine you're doing it within the constraints. You can't get away. At least when you're doing that, you get to go home. They typically don't go home with you. Well, your dog doesn't have a place to hide. Remember, that was one of the reasons why individuals disperse in the wild. There's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to go. Okay, so all of these are reasons why your dog may want to leave. If he could talk to you, he'd say, can I go, please? I love you, but you know what? I'm really suffering here. Will you let me go? Please, pretty please? Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about you. You know, I mentioned there was a study that was done, and I'll go ahead and post a link to that study. And just so you know, by the way, I've had a couple of people ask me for various links on studies, and I post them on there. A lot of these studies, unless you are an academic and you are working for a university, you don't get the studies for free. I'm sorry to say that. You'll get an abstract. But if you want the whole thing, the 15-page, 20, 30, 40-page long report, you're going to have to buy it. That's what I do. I buy them. Yep, got to shell out the bucks. Otherwise, you don't get it. So if I send you a link and it sends you to an abstract and asks you to buy it, that's not on me. That's on Science Direct. That's on Deep Dive. That's on Mendeley. That's on Elsevier. It's on all of those organizations that compile these studies that I dig into on a daily basis. And yeah, take a look at my American Express card and see how much money I've spent over the last year just so I can provide factual information to you guys. All right, so don't be getting on my case about that. Go pay for your study if you want your study. Okay, but in the study that I'm referring to, there was one, and I will post that link. They say that when they had consultations with people, that they chose to relocate their dog because of heavier weight, meaning the dog was simply just too big. Big dog, small apartment, big dog, small car, what have you. Mixed breed, they didn't place as much value. Yes, I did dig deeper into that study and come to find out they placed more value on the purebred dog that they got, and because they probably spent money on it, a lot more money, and therefore kind of like a really expensive pair of sunglasses. You'll be amazed at how long you keep those versus the cheap pair that you sit on or you lose. Also, aggression to familiar people. Not very tolerated out there in the world. People just don't like being bitten by their own dog. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. That was actually more important to them than if their dog bit someone else, which again, I can't even say that and keep a straight face. Oh my gosh. And then finally, children. Thank goodness. Golly, I swear for a while there, it seemed like for about 5 years straight, I didn't have parents. I don't know what they were. They had children, but I wouldn't call them parents because parents are supposed to take care of their children. And one of their responsibilities is to protect their child, and none of them were doing it. So I'm glad to hear that maybe that's changing at this time. And then other environmental factors are all the ones that I talked to you about from the dog's point of view. Okay, So what are some other things that you may decide why you want to rehome your dog? Not enough time. That's what I'm running to right now, believe it or not. Can you believe it? People are actually working out of their homes more than ever, and yet they don't have enough time. They don't have enough time. So that I get it. I understand it. In fact, I tell people all the time, me, my own dog's training captain. When I trained captain, hunk cattle dog. Everybody, train old cattle dog. Yeah, when I was doing him, it used to be the old saying, it's the painter's house that needs the painting. Yeah, I was so busy painting everyone else's houses, I didn't even have time to paint my own. So I definitely get it. Time is an issue. Also, money. Money, yeah, right now. How many people are unemployed? Money's tough. And they've studied this before. Dr. Stephen Spott did a big study in his book, The Societies of Wolves and Free-Ranging Dogs, in which he studied the effects of war-torn countries and dogs that were kicked to the curb because no one could afford to keep them anymore. They could barely feed their family about 4 potatoes a week, let alone feed a dog. So money becomes an issue. Power disparity, training issues, meaning you own too much dog. The dog is more powerful than you. The dog is more strong-willed than you. The dog is not as patient with you as you're trying to be with it. And because of the, oh God, and I've been over before, the confusion surrounding training, which method is best, which one's horrible, and all that confusing nonsense out there, people just are not effectively training their dogs. And behavior, bad behavior is the number one reason, still is the number one reason, has always been the number one reason, and will continue to be the number one reason why people will relocate their dogs, rehome their dogs, or put them up for euthanasia. Bad behavior. Behavior they can't live with. We humans have tolerances. We have a certain threshold, and that is it. And once you punch through that threshold, it is game over. Time for the dog to go. When you become more of a cost than a benefit because I can't control you, because you're jumping on me, you're pulling on me, you're trying to bite me because you won't shut up when I need you to shut up because I'm trying to work out of my house. When you attack my other dogs, when you attack my friends, it's gone. It's done. It's over. Last year, 700,000 dogs in this country. This year, unfortunately, over 1 million. Yeah, bad behavior. Because people don't have the heart and the will to train their dogs. And they also are being fed a bunch of crap. Oh, don't ever tell your dog no. Ignore bad behaviors. Okay, see if we can reach 2 million in the next couple of years. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why. The other one, we're just not compatible. Okay, I've had that happen. I remember a friend of mine, a big guy, he was big guy. He a big boy, he's an old football player, and he was big. And he got a miniature Italian Greyhound. I'll never forget that. And I'm like, dude, you can barely tie your shoes, brother. I'm just being serious with you. Why do you go get a miniature Italian Greyhound? All this thing wants to do is run all the time. It's like an atomic BB. He goes, I don't know why I got that dog, Craig, because he was cute. He was really cute as a puppy, but now he's driving me crazy. So we relocated the miniature Italian Greyhound to a track star. Oh, yeah, she was as hyper as you could get. She was an atomic BB on 2 legs. And so that atomic BB on 2 legs got along with the atomic BB on 4 legs, and I got my friend Fred, the Basset Hound. And, man, they would pop popcorn together and just binge on movies, and I'm telling you what, they're the happiest compatible group ever. So sometimes you just don't match. Your personalities don't match. Your lifestyles don't match. And so therefore, you find it out the hard way. Sometimes you don't have enough space. You started off with enough space, but then all of a sudden you got relocated yourself. Your job, your career relocated you. And you suddenly went from 3 acres and a big old 4,000 square foot house down to a 1,800 square foot house on the 0 lot line. Things happen. And then, of course, you have too many dogs. Yeah, you thought you wanted to get one more. Just give me one more. I'll be fine with one more. Because you're going for what's called the old Buster syndrome. Yeah, old Buster, he was a good old dog. And I tell you what, I think this dog is going to be just like Buster. No, the dog's not like Buster. And now you have too many dogs. So there's just some other reasons. So here's what I'm going to advise you to do. For whatever your reason, if you decide that you're going to want to rehome your dog, let me just kind of give you some advice because I've been there and I've had to do it myself. Okay, first of all, make a decision. Make it. And when you make that decision, do not make it staring at your dog. Do me a favor. Go off somewhere. Take a legal pad with you right down the middle. Draw a line. P and C. Pro and con. And when those cons stack up more than the pros, make your decision. Time kills deals. Hear me? Time kills deals. So go make this decision like a scientist standing outside that bubble of emotion. Do the very best you can, because remember, you're supposed to be making a good, responsible decision. So I'm sorry, you got to check your heart out of this situation here and use your brain. Don't sit there and weigh it out. Do it like a darn attorney if you have to. Just write on a yellow legal pad. And then make the decision. Make it. And once you make that decision, do it. Time kills deals. Do not have this coulda, woulda, shoulda business. We can all do that. We can look back over our lives right now. I can do it all the time. Because you can do it. You can do it anytime you want to. You can just say, I could have done that. I should have done that. And I would have done that. So, okay. The only thing I care about is if that was a big mistake on any of those coulda, wouldas, and shouldas, learn from it. Try not to repeat it again. But you're not going back there. So, no rear view mirrors. Straight over the hood of your car. Head on down the road. Time kills deals. And go make that deal outside the presence of your dog. Another reason why you'd make that decision, safety. Safety comes first. Safety for you, safety for your family, safety for your children, safety for your family and friends. Yeah, that comes before your emotional needs. Safety has to always be considered. Quality of life. Yeah, you count. Your quality of life. It's going to suffer a little bit when you have to rehome your dog. I get it. But it's for the best. And that should steal your heart and help you with your decision making. Don't make decision at all if you're confused and you're in an emotional state that you can't make a decision. Then that's when you need to call on someone else. You need to have someone else step into your life, someone that's probably not as invested as you are, help you make that decision. But that being said, at the end of the day, the decision is yours. Don't ever blame your decision on anyone else. It's your decision, and your opinion is the one that matters the most. But sometimes we get lost. I cannot tell you how many times I've had to lean on friends to help me out of a situation. I had to. I was lost. And because of that, I need someone to show me my way. Yeah, I was looking at my compass, and it was spinning. I couldn't find true north. There's no dishonor in that. Welcome to being a human being. Okay, so when I couldn't find true north, I had to have someone come and steady my compass. It's okay. Okay? And then once they did that, I guided myself. And you're going to do the same thing. Guys, the last thing I want to say is no one will ever be perfect for your dog. There's not another you. No one. If you hunt for the perfect home for your dog, you're never going to find it. It doesn't exist. Because it's not you. It's not your home. Settle for the 70% rule, remember, the survival series? 70%. That's good. Make that decision, 70%. That's really good. And then when you do, cut that umbilical cord right then. Don't be asking for updates. If anything goes bad, anything goes south, trust me, they'll reach back out to you. They will. But don't ask for those. Don't die the death of 1,000 cuts. Make your decision. Believe in your decision. Right or wrong, at least by golly, you made the decision. Oh, that's becoming a trait that's vanishing real quickly in this world. Make a darn decision. Right one, wrong one, at least it's made. Cut the darn umbilical cord and move on. Because when you sit there and start asking for a text update and see them on Facebook, and you're going to lose it. And you know what? Here's the best advice I can give you. Learn from it. And once you learn, okay, for whatever reason you got rid of your dog, you search that thing out. You bring that thing right to the forefront. You put that white elephant right on that table and you stare at it. And you learn from it. And when you learn, then go get another dog. Yeah. Yeah. Go get another dog. That'll help you more than anything else because you learned. You're going to be better. You're smarter now. Go bring that other dog in your life because there's other dogs out there that need a home right now, that need to be relocated to your home. Yeah, did you think about that? Now quit looking at things just one way. Oh, God, I got to get rid of my dog and I got to send it to that home and I'm never going to find the perfect home. Well, maybe you're the 70% home for another dog. Yeah. So give that some thought while you're at it as well. Okay, guys, that's it. Tough call, tough decision. You need to talk about it, reach out to me. Reach out to me. I'm hoping to have more time to help more people like you when I wrap up the 365. Be able to do a little bit more than what I'm able to do right now just because of my own time constraints and ecological constraints I have. But that being said, it's a tough decision. Sometimes you need someone to lean on. Trust me, if you reach out to me, I will tell you this much, so you better brace yourself. If you don't know me by now, you need to go watch 355 other videos. I will shoot you straight. I will try not to be brutally honest, but I will be honest. And I will be scientific. And I will be factual. I will not sugarcoat it. I don't do that. So don't come to me if you're looking for someone to give you the answer that you want. If you get that from me, good for you. But I will always be after your dog's welfare first because they can't make a decision. And then I will truly and genuinely be concerned about yours. You guys are a team. Okay? So no giving up. You simply just made the right decision. You simply gave your dog a greater life. Yeah, it's just a better life. No failure. No nothing. It just didn't work. It didn't work. Square peg, round hole, all that sort of stuff. Didn't work. So that being said, that was pretty darn good of me, wasn't it? It took a whole lot, just so you know, dog. I guarantee that dog would turn around and say, thank you very much. All right, that's it, guys. And go enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Go smile, go laugh outside. It's hard to talk about rehoming. Man, kind of gets me just a little bit emotional to talk about myself. Because, of course, I can't talk about it unless I think about all those dogs I had to rehome. And just so you know, dogs I had to rehome, just real quick. One's for aggression, attacking our children. Can't have that. I told you safety is number one. Time was another one. As soon as I was out of the barracks in the military and I was able to live off base, I was like, yeah, I'm off base, baby. Barracks wouldn't let me have a dog. I don't know if they do anymore, but they wouldn't let me have a dog. So as soon as I moved off base, I got a dog. Oh, heck yeah, I can't live without a dog. Oh, well, not enough time. Military doesn't have a 40-hour work week, and sometimes at a moment's notice, they're going to send you out of the country for a month or two. That did not work out, so the dog had to go. My police service dog, Yager, I've told you about him. He was put on this plan to be a police service dog. He was not put on this plan to be Bryan's friend and companion for life. He's a working dog. So as soon as I decided to leave my career as a police officer, I donated him to Deputy Mark Buckner of the Dalton County Sheriff's Department in Georgia. And he served with him for 8 more years doing a dynamite job. And I'm so glad I made that decision. So guys, those are the dogs that I've rehomed in my life. It was tough, every single one of them. But I smile because I know I did the right thing. And you got to do that. That's part of it. That's what makes you that unique and special dog owner. Not just a dog owner, the unique and special one. So go be that. Okay? Do that for me. Hunk Al dog. Should I rehome you, buddy? I'll never rehome Cal dog. I don't think I will. I won't tell him that though. He got to keep earning his keep around here. All right, but get off me. All right, guys. Love you guys. Check you out later. Take care.